We head out now on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Braves President and CEO Derek Schiller, nice enough to join us this morning. Derek, good morning. How's that sound? A parade right here at the Battery. We can take it all the way downtown if we can come up with a World Series win this year.
I'd say that sounds really good. Let's go. I'm ready.
I'm fired up, and you heard me, over-exuberance for Marcell Ozuna, going back to that. It was something that we had talked about, obviously, from the end of last year and bringing him back. I've asked a lot of people just the energy that Marcell brings to this ball club. How do you feel having him back in the fold?
It was obviously a huge day when we learned that he was going to re-sign with us. Alex and his guys have done an unbelievable job assembling the team, and I think a lot of that, right, what you're feeling, what you're kind of talking about there is we were so close to getting to the World Series last year, obviously just one win away, and he was a big part of that, right? He brought, to your point, a huge amount of energy to the team, did a little selfies and everything else, all the fun antics that he did, and he's a fun guy to watch. The team's a fun team to watch, and I think the energy is something that a lot of of our fans are seeing and looking forward to seeing this year.
He's Derek Schiller, Braves President and CEO, joins us on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. Everybody I see in the streets and in the neighborhood, specifically fans that have season tickets, are wondering exactly what's going on with fans being in the stands when the season starts, not only for spring training down there in Northport, but also up here at Truist. Can you tell everybody what's going on?
Yeah, sure. So we'll start with spring training. We've got somewhat of a mandate to do no more than about 25% down at spring training. So for our facility down there, it represents about 1,800 seats. We're actually currently going through the process of taking the existing season ticket holders and other people that have already pre-purchased tickets and converting those, asking them if they want to be part of those 1,800. So that will give us a really good trial run, have us understand some of the unique particulars of having a socially distanced crowd, albeit in that environment. And then come April 9th, our home opener here, we do anticipate to have fans. We're not yet sure how many that's going to be. We're going to give ourselves another 2 or 3 weeks. We sent out a letter to our season ticket holders telling them that, walking them through the process should we go to a social distance model. But that's a decision that's not yet been had and will be made sometime in the next couple of weeks.
What would that process potentially look like if it is a socially distanced model?
Well, first off, I mean, we're going to do our part to try to keep people as safe and healthy coming to a baseball game as we possibly can. So, the very first thing that we expect to happen, regardless of the amount of people that are in there, is you're going to be asked to wear a mask. We're going to have all kinds of sanitization stations, hand sanitizer, et cetera. We'll do extra cleaning precautions and things like that. We'll actually increase the amount of airflow through the building, kind of a unique feature that we already have in existence at the ballpark, at Truist Park. Not only in the indoor environments with increasing the amount of airflow, but we got those big ass fans. Yeah, that's what they're called. Throughout the concourses, get the airflow going, keep everybody as safe and healthy as possible. And then, it's a good time to remind people. I mean, this is an outdoor ballpark, right? So I think there's probably a little bit less anxiety when you're talking about an outdoor ballpark. But I think, all these things plus a lot of things that you maybe won't see are going to happen. And we'll work closely with the authorities. And we've been working closely with our hospital partners, our healthcare partners on that. So have a lot of things in store and ready to get that going.
Braves President and CEO Derek Schiller with us right now on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. A really tough offseason for the Braves when it comes to legends. Phil Niekro, obviously Hank Aaron, Don Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, guys that passed away that meant a lot to this organization. But Hank Aaron, you obviously have the Henry Aaron Fund. Talk about that and his legacy and what he's meant to this city and the organization.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, add one more to the list. Unfortunately, at the end of the season, beginning of the off season, we also lost Bill Bartholomé.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
who was the former owner and actually brought the Braves to Atlanta in 1966. He actually was very close to Hank as well. But specific to Hank, we've got some things in store for fans to make sure that we memorialize him and remember him in the right way. him as well as Phil Necro. So we got a couple things that we've yet to announce as it relates to that. You saw a big 44 on the field, so that's probably one of the things that we'll do. Keep that carried over throughout the course of the year. And then you mentioned the fund. We actually put $1 million into a new fund that sits underneath the existing Atlanta Braves Foundation. The Major League Baseball Players Association and Major League Baseball put another $1 million. So that $2 million will be used to help grow diversity amongst people that are looking to potentially play baseball. So try to grow the diversity of the game, which was certainly a very important mission of Hank's throughout his career and post-playing career. And I think that's sort of a great way to memorialize him. We got a lot of things in store as far as how to properly do that. Looking forward to anybody that wants to support us with that effort. So that's one of the things that we'll do. And obviously, you know, it's been a really, really tough off season in that regard. But you know, hopefully getting back out on the field and doing some of these things will keep that legacy alive and well.
Yeah, no doubt. You guys are doing a fantastic job with that. The 2021 MLB All-Star Game is happening at Truist Park on July 13th. Tell us about the planning that goes into that, and I guess, obviously, the fan experience as well.
You know, in a typical All-Star planning cycle, we would have actually been well into, you know, probably more than 50% complete of the planning.
Right.
But like all things in the COVID era, this had to take some changes to it as well. So we've rapidly picked up the pace here recently as far as planning goes. You know, we're going to plan for a full All-Star package, and what that means, you know, from an events perspective, you know, at the ballpark itself, you've got Sunday, which will be the Futures game, and some other things that happen on the field on Sunday. On that Monday, July 12th, will be the Home Run Derby, and July 13th, as you mentioned, will be the actual All-Star game. So a lot of planning that goes into that. You know, there's hotels and transportation and, you know, a whole litany of other activation and additional ancillary events. We'll have, you know, concerts and things like that going on in the Roxy. We'll have speaker series. We'll have all kinds of things going up and down the streets of the Battery Atlanta, right outside your windows. We'll, you know, kids and families be out there playing games, hopefully. And, you know, hopefully this pandemic will be a bit of a rear view mirror issue for all of us. But, you know, it's been an interesting cycle trying to plan this with that as the backdrop.
I want to go back to the playoffs. So, you know, the Battery had a lot of watch parties for the Braves, and you saw people socially distanced down on the lawn in different areas. But it becomes tough when your team's winning baseball games. How did you feel that went over? Because I know there were some folks around the country that go, why are they doing this? But then I never heard anybody getting sick or anything like that coming from those events.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously, people want to show their support to the team. They want to gather a little bit. We've tried to provide that for them in you know, a safe way. You mentioned the social distancing parameters we put on that. We did that not only outside in the plaza area with the TV out there, the big screen out there, but also we did allow some fans to come into the ballpark. Did the same kind of thing there. But, you know, this is happening all across the country, right? So, you know, the NFL had fans in a number of their venues. It's happening now. A lot of NBA, NHL venues are having fans. And so far, knock on wood, all of these have been done in a way where it doesn't cause any kind of spreading of the virus. Nothing that's been indicated. So we think it can be done safely. As I mentioned, you know, in Truist Park's case, we're outdoor venues, so you have a lot of distinct advantages over some other venues. But it's something that's perhaps in the backdrop of some people's minds. I would just say, you know, for those that are wanting to come out and they feel like they can do so safely and they're not worried about that, we're going to welcome them. And for those that are a little bit more worried and want to wait, that's certainly okay. And they can watch the games on TV or listen to them on 680 The Fan. That's fine too. And we'll welcome them back whenever they're ready.
Tap that app.
Yeah, you could tap the app because this year Major League Baseball going to allow streaming on the app for everybody. So the 680 The Fan app's the way to go. A couple of more minutes with Derek Schiller, Braves President and CEO on the Loud Security Systems Newsmaker line. I want to go back to fans in the stands. Will there be availability for single game tickets, or do you have to be a season ticket holder right now to be able to come into Truist Park?
The scenario that we laid out in that letter that I mentioned to the season ticket holders is essentially if we do the social distancing, so put a big underline on the if, we would go through a process where we would basically refund everybody's tickets into their account, those season ticket holders or anybody that has already pre-purchased tickets. for the games, because we're currently selling all tickets to all games right now. And then we would go back in and basically ask you if you would like to purchase tickets in a socially distanced environment. You would pick and choose those seats. Because keep in mind, if a season ticket holder bought a specific ticket, a specific seat location, that may not be available in a socially distanced model. And so the idea would be to go offer the season ticket holders what we call our A-list, those A-list members first priority on purchasing those socially distanced seats. And then as you roll through those, then you'd ultimately open it up to single game tickets to the general public. I foresee that happening in some way, shape, or form for some amount of games, but I can't predict exactly right now how many games that would be and exactly what the percentage is. We just did a poll amongst all of my peers around the league, and I think just about every baseball team is looking forward to welcoming fans in. But there is a pretty decent variety of numbers of seats that they think are going to be opened up. I mean, you think about what we might be able to do here in Georgia is going to be different than, say, California or Massachusetts or Chicago, right? So all of us are having to think about the environment, the situation that you're in, working with your municipality, working with your healthcare provider, and trying to do this in the right way. But, you know, these are uncharted waters in some regards. So we're all trying to do it the right way, and hopefully we will. And, you know, we're going to learn from it each day that we go by.
Derek, there's nothing we look forward more to than being able to spend some summers down at the ballpark watching baseball at Truist Park. Really appreciate you coming on this morning, giving us the information, and we look forward to a great run, hopefully to an October World Series right here in Atlanta.
You got it. First game of spring training is this weekend, Sunday, and then reminder, so you got our opener, which we open on the road with the Phillies on April 1st, and we come back home, open on against the Phillies, ironically, again on April 9th. So look forward to seeing everybody out at the ballpark or listening in on 680 The Fan or the app, as you said. So thanks very much for having me.